Notice also, when you look up at the Home tab in your ribbon and in the Styles group, you have what they call the Quick Styles Gallery. And the Quick Style Gallery tells me with the use of an orange border that I currently have heading 1 applied to this paragraph. If I click in this paragraph, with the use of an orange border, it tells me I have normal applied. Notice that you can also apply styles using the Quick Styles Gallery just by clicking. And you can also modify styles by right-clicking and modify. You can also remove styles from the Quick Style Gallery should you ever want to. So you have options to apply styles either using the Styles task pane, using the Quick Style Gallery, or using shortcut keys. What I'd like to do now is modify some of my styles. For example, the normal style. The normal style, when I click on a normal paragraph, is Arial 11. And I'd like to modify it so it's Arial 12 and justified. One way to modify a style is to go to the Styles task pane and hit the down triangle to the right of normal. And from here, click Modify. What we can do in here is change the font. It's already Arial, so I'm happy with that, but I want to change the font size from the default of 11 to 12. I'd also like to change the alignment from being left aligned to justified, so I'll click on Justify. Immediately in the background, I can see this having an effect on my document. The changes I'm making to the normal style, I only want them to apply to this document, but if I wanted to apply it to all new documents based on this template and redefine normal full stop, then I would choose this option, but I'm going to click OK. I'd also like to modify the heading 1 style. So on my task pane, what I'm going to do is rest on heading 1 and then click the down triangle to the right of heading 1. If I hit the down triangle, I can click the option Modify. I'd like to modify the font. Here I see the font is Cambria, and I'd like to change it to Arial, so I choose the font Arial. I'd also like to change the size to 20, so I'll change the size in here to 20. I'd also like it to be centered, so I'll click the center button. And immediately I can start seeing effects taking place in the background and also in my preview. I'd like to format this style further. For example, irrespective of how they type the heading 1, I want it to always be in capitals. Now that's not an immediate button here, so I'm going to go into the Format button to get access to other options. And I'm going to click on Font. I'm going to tick the option All Caps, and that means titles that have the style heading 1 will always be in capitals. And I'll click OK. I also need the font color to be blue, and it already is blue, but I might choose a darker blue. I only want the changes to appear in this document, so I'll leave this option open and OK. Any headings that have the heading 1 style applied will automatically be updated, so I'm expecting that adding and subtracting would have changed. It's a quick way. If you redefine the style, then all those pieces of text that have that style applied will be updated, and a very quick way to format your document. Let's modify the heading 2 style. In my Styles task pane, I'm going to hit the drop down to the right of heading 2, and again I'm going to click Modify. I'd like to change the font, so I'm going to hit this drop down here and choose Arial. I'd like to change the size to 18. I'd also like a dark blue, so I'm going to change the font color to a dark blue. What I'd also like to do is make sure that I have a bottom border. So I'm going to go into Format and into Border, and I'm going to turn on a bottom border just by hitting the bottom border button. And OK. I've actually decided I prefer a font size, the font color, that's different from the heading 1. So I'm going to change my font color again to green. I only want the changes to affect this document, so I'll click OK. If I look for any heading 2 styles, I will see they will automatically be green with a bottom border and Arial and 18. Notice also I can navigate using my navigation pane to my heading 1s, heading 2s, heading 3s. So if I want to go to the other heading 2 to check it, I'll click on Avoid Clichés and it's been formatted. If I click on Begin with Color, that's my other heading 2. If I click on Decorating 3 Stages, that's my heading 1. and adding and subtracting is also a heading 1. What I'd like to do now is modify heading 3. So on my Styles task pane, I'm going to hit the drop down to the right of heading 3 and click Modify. I'd like to change the font to Arial also. And I'd like to change the size to 16. I'd like to change the font colour to red. And I'd like to right align this heading, so I'll click the Right Align button. I'd also like to apply a top and bottom border, and that's not immediately apparent in here. So any extra options you'll find in the Format button and in this various categories. For a border, I'll click the Border option, and I'll click the top border button and the bottom border button, and I'll click OK. I only want to apply the changes to this document, so I'll leave this option selected and I'll click OK. And immediately my styles have been updated. I can see my heading 1, heading 2 and heading 3. If I wanted to check my other heading 3, on my navigation pane I click Break the Rules, and I can see that's been changed, as well as allocating your money. So modifying styles is a matter of going to the Styles task pane, clicking the drop down to the right and choosing Modify. All text that has that style applied will automatically be updated.